And then they became involved in the world's largest gambling casino. Except they're not playing roulette, they're not playing craps. What they are playing with is the most unbelievably complicated financial transactions in the history of the world. And they're dealing with these super fast computers, so that you make a fraction of a penny on a transaction, multiplying that by billions, you make a whole lot of money. And nobody knew what the hell they were doing to begin with. But we knew that they were dishonest, they were liars, they were greedy, and they were reckless. And then these same people, after they drove this economy and the world's economy into the edge of financial abyss, then these people who hate government, who think government is evil, get the government off of our backs, they came running to the United States Congress. They came crawling for their welfare payments. Not to feed hungry children, not to provide health care for their parents, but to bail them out. And then the United States Congress did just that. I didn't vote for it, but it did. $700 billion bailout to the people who really hate government so much. But they did accept that, reluctantly, they did accept that $700 billion.
Really?
But what you don't know, and most Americans say, well, that was the Wall Street bailout, and what it is. That wasn't by any means the extent of the bailout. As part of the Dodd-Frank financial reform bill, I got a provision in there so that for the first time in the history of the United States of America, there was an audit of the Fed during the financial crisis. Okay, got that. The GAO, Government Accountability Office, did the study, and this is what we found. What we found, what was made public, is that during that financial crisis, the Fed lent out at very, very low interest rates, 1/4%, 0.5%. Hold on to your hats. $16 trillion. Even in Washington, $16 trillion is a lot of money. A revolving loan fund that went to every major financial institution in America. Be happy to know central banks all over the world, large corporations like General Electric got their welfare payment as well. And in addition to that, certain wealthy individuals were able to get these low interest loans. Now, I'm a member of the Budget Committee, which deals with these kinds of things. And after the financial crisis, we didn't know the exact nature of these loans in Uganda. But Ben Bernanke, who was chairman of the Fed, came before the committee, and I said, no, Mr. Chairman, I understand you've lent out a huge amount of money. Could you tell me who received it? He said, no, I can't tell you. And I said, well, I think there are folks in Vermont who would love to have these low interest loans. There's a 1-800 number that they can call to get it. Or do you have to be a greedy, dishonest, illegal bank that people applicants to get? And he didn't answer that. But we did get that language in the bill, and the information was reviewed. But we also asked for another study. And that is to tell us about conflicts of interest at the Fed. Now, I don't want to go into a long speech about the Fed, but one of the functions of the Fed is to control a monetary supply, but it's also to protect the safety and soundness, quote unquote, of our banking system. Obviously, the Fed did not do a particularly good job at that. But what we've also discovered, which is public knowledge, you will be surprised to know this, that in addition to the Board of Governors, of which Ben Bernanke heads, you have 12 regional Feds. The largest, most important one is in New York, the New York Fed, which has the job of presumably keeping Wall Street honest. Now, you will be no doubt shocked to know that the New York Fed is, of course, dominated by the people they are supposed to be regulating. So that you have Jamie Dimon, who is head of the largest financial institution in our country, J.P. Morgan Chase. Surprise, surprise, is a member of the New York Fed. There are 3 representatives of the banking community, 2 others beside Dimon, and then the banking community appoints 3 other people on the board as well, so 6 out of the 9 either come from the banking community. banking community were appointed by the bankers. But we have just introduced a legislation to get the bankers out of the Fed. I raise this issue, and it's an important issue, is that until we end the business model of fraud and greed and gambling that currently exists on Wall Street, until we get our financial institutions to start lending out money to small and medium-sized businesses who actually produce products and services rather than make their money by gambling, unless we begin to do that, we're not going to create the jobs that we need